Oh man, alright everybody. You guys are gonna have to bear with me because I already know that this video is gonna be long, and that is because we have a lot to cover. Now let's just get to the basics. Number one, if you wanna read more about this topic that I'm gonna discuss, all you have to do is just go to Google and type in GSP NSAC or GSP WADA or GSP VADA. Now, what does VADA mean? VADA is Voluntary Anti-Doping Association. WADA is World Anti-Doping Agency, and NSAC is Nevada State Athletic Commission. WADA is basically the premier, the cream of the crop in anti-doping. They basically do the Olympics. Alright, so now that we have that out of the way, is GSP the Lance Armstrong of MMA? If you are not familiar with Lance Armstrong, he won a ton of Tour de France's. That's like the biggest cycle race in the damn world. He won, I don't know how many, 7 of them, 8 of them. He won so many of them. But there were always accusations of him being on drugs, performance-enhancing drugs, and all these other stuff. Long story short, he got caught. He was doping like crazy, and they stripped him of his titles, and he is a complete joke now. Alright, so GSP, there have always been suspicions that he is on something, and that's not something I'm making up. You can go on the archives and look up fans questioning him, even fighters that have fought him questioning him. Alright, so GSP and his camp were all tired of the accusations, dead tired, so they said, you know what, we will do the NSAC drug tests, and we will on our own do the VADA testing as well, and we will pay for that with our own pockets. So there are no questions about it. And when GSP was going to face Johnny Hendricks, GSP's camp said, you know what, we will even pay for our testing and Johnny Hendricks' testing for the VADA. But then Johnny Hendricks was like, no. And then that's when the internet went crazy. What? Oh, why is Johnny Hendricks, why doesn't he want to do that? Oh, that's insane. And GSP's camp threw him under the bus. Oh, why is that? Fast forward. There's a reason why he did not accept that. And I hope everybody that is watching this is sitting down, has their little seat belts on, because it turns out that VADA would be paying for GSP's test, or partially paying for it. So, what? Huh? Wait a minute. Wait, what? Okay, so now we got some iffy going on. So then Hendricks' camp was like, we're not gonna partner with VADA if they're paying for GSP's test. That's like if they're in cahoots with each other. No, we don't want any part of that. So then the UFC got involved, and they set up a conference call with George's camp, which is his managers, his trainer Faraz Zahabi, and the NSAC executive director Keith Kaiser, to sort the whole thing out. Meanwhile, Hendricks' camp said, listen, we are not opposed to doing extra testing as well. You know what? Let's do the WADA testing, the best testing of all. Let's do that one. So then in the conference call, Keith Kaiser was like, okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want to do the VADA or the WADA? And GSP's camp was adamant, we want to do VADA. But hey, just so we know, what do you test for? And Keith Kaiser was like, well, we test for prohibited substances as listed on the WADA list. They said, well, what does that mean? Does that mean HGH, human growth hormone? And Keith Kaiser was like, yes, it means all. And then Keith was like, okay, so do you want to do the VADA testing or the WADA testing? And they said, well, first we want to know what all the tests that WADA does before we decide. And then Keith said, okay, well, I guess I'll take that as a no. No for WADA. And then George's lawyer said, well, no, that's not what we meant. We're happy to do it once we get all this additional information, but I'm going to be gone for the next 7 days, and I'm not going to be available via text or email. What? I'm dead serious. This is from Keith Kaiser. He wrote this. He said that this happened in the conversation. So the very, very least that we know is there is some really, really fishy stuff going on here. First it was the accusations, then it was from the fighters themselves, and now we have this. Damn. So this whole thing of GSP, oh, I'm gonna stand out, I'm gonna get additional testing. I mean, it did a complete 180 on him. Oh man. Oh. Anyway, let's get to another topic. And what in the world does Johnny Hendricks have to say about all this? Well, let's find out. In the MMA Hour, Johnny Hendricks said, I don't care if GSP does the VADA testing or the WADA testing. I don't care about that at all. I just want my shot. If it turns out that he's not doping or is doping, that just means that I beat GSP himself and the drug. Damn. And he said, what I don't want is to lose my title shot, because if he does get caught with anything, there goes my chance of fighting and beating GSP. Damn. Big rig, baby. Like I said, this is a very long story. I'll put links in the bottom so you guys can read about that as well. But I just wanted to post this video on this crazy news. Everybody, thank you for watching. Subscribe, definitely. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos. Check out my gaming channel, Video Game Genius, and UFC 167 GSP Big Rig. I can't wait.